Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And, well, yesterday, well, at least Wednesday, I should say, this will be coming on Friday. So 2 days ago, with the release of Update 13.10, not only did the Black Friday event, which we were discussing in yesterday's video, go live, but also the second round of the Star Trek crossover event began as well. Now, I do suspect that this was what we were supposed to get in the first crossover event, that we got just the ship cosmetics and the handful of commanders in, but I'm guessing probably because of the operations that are associated with this crossover, they had to push it back until now, or they just decided to make it the Halloween event for this year. Either way, of course, the first event was a bit of a letdown, and when we got news that there was a second one coming down the pipeline, many were a bit skeptical about its viability. But, fellas, I am happy to say that this round is a lot better in terms of the content that it is bringing to the table, because not only is it a cosmetic crossover, which, cosmetic crossovers are fun, new in-game cosmetics and new in-game commanders are neat and all, but we are getting not one, not two, but three special Star Trek operations out of this crossover event. And if I had to give you guys my 2 cents on these operations, I believe they are potentially testing some new in-game mechanics and even in-game weapons that we might see in the future in this crossover event. But more on that in a minute. So let's talk about the Armory first. We are going to go through all aspects of this crossover event here in this video. That's the purpose of this video, of course. So we're going to start with the Armory. Probably should have led with that before we went straight into the Armory. So, this time around, we have two new unique ship camos that changes the cosmetic appearance of two ships in game beyond just slapping a new piece of paint on the ship. We get the Borg Queen Diamond camo for the Yamato, which looks pretty cool, I must say myself. It makes the Yami look very square and very Borg-like, with a very big diamond on top. If you've seen Star Trek, of course, First Contact, The Next Generation, or really Voyager, you should recognize a lot of the design cues from this camo. And it also gives the guns special in-game appearances when they do fire. Effects, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Effects when the guns of the Yami doth fire. So that is pretty cool. To go along with the Queen's Diamond camo for the Yami, you also get a Borg Queen unique commander with this package. You can buy the Queen herself separate. You can also buy the Queen and the Borg camo for the Yami in a bundle as well in the Armory if you wish to do so. And then the next new unique camo we get is the Voyager camo for the Salem, which is pretty cool in most aspects, except, well, you see, I don't know what exactly Wargaming was going for here, but they put the name of the ship upside down. The nameplate for Starfleet vessels, they don't face back towards the bridge. They face towards the bow of the ship, so they can be read, as if you're looking at the ship, right? They aren't meant to be read from the point of view of the bridge, but for whatever reason, maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's intentional, I don't know, but it's backwards, so there's that. I guess maybe Wargaming wanted the players to read it from like the camera's point of view, but I believe that players in a ship game understand how nameplates are supposed to work in real life, so there's that. But other than that little either intentional choice or mistake, I do really like the Voyager camo for the Salem. Voyager wasn't that well beloved of a series when it comes to the Star Trek series, but I actually really like Voyager. It's campy, it's goofy, I liked it a lot. Alright, besides those two unique camos and Janeway and the Borg Queen, we also have Riker and Worf now joining us, and you can get Riker or Worf for free if you follow the combat missions, so that's pretty cool. They are 6-point commanders across the board. They do all have their unique voiceovers. They're not better than the other ones from the first round. They are, in my opinion, very not good.
You Klingons never do anything small, do you?
With all due respect, unless you've got something a little bigger in your torpedo tubes, I'm not turning around.
Engage designated targets.
Fight with honor.
A couple of lines on them sound close to lines that the characters say, but that's about it. You know, like in the first wave, Spock sounds really good. And of course, Tasha Yar's, I can't think of the character's name right now, but Tasha Yar's Romulan half sounds pretty good, as what Salop sounds pretty good as well. Other two, not so much. Here, all four of them just don't sound good at all, so there's that. So be advised when you are looking at these commanders in port. If you're looking for commanders that sound close to their in-show counterparts, these are not them. But you know what? Having Worf as a commander, having Wrecker as a commander, that's cool. Same with Janeway and the Borg Queen. You know, I'm a big Star Trek nerd, so yeah. On top of that as well, you can get some temporary camos, well, permanent camos, I should say. The To Boldly Go camo, which makes your ship look like it has the plating of a Federation starship, along with some pretty neat lights for the windows along the way. And you can also get the assimilated permanent camo as well in the Armory for $1,500. You get both of them in a bundle, so the two permanent camos. So that is what's in the Armory. Of course, you can, there's various packs you can buy. You can buy the large pack that has all of the cosmetics and all the commanders. Actually, not all the commanders. You get the cosmetics for the ships and their respective commanders. So, the cosmetics for the Enterprise, Salem, the Ganaisanao, the Akatsuki, and the Fiji, and you get Spock, the Borg Queen, Janeway, and Picard. That will set you back 42,000 doubloons. You can buy just the second wave, which is Worf, Riker, Janeway, and the Borg Queen, along with the cosmetics for the Salem and the Yami for 25,200 doubloons. So, yeah, they're cosmetics, and they don't do anything. They're not unique ships. The commanders have no unique attributes or anything like that besides their voice and their character card appearance. Other than that, they are just normal commanders. So, yeah, if you like Star Trek and you're willing to cough up the money, go for it. It's cosmetic items. If you like the way they look, go for it. If not, no need to worry about that. You can buy the Borg bundle and the Star Trek Vice Admiral bundle that has the Salem camo and Janeway for that one, and the Borg one, of course, has the Borg Queen and the Yami camo. You get both of those commanders and 14 skill points for a whopping 15,000 doubloons each. So pretty expensive for just a bunch of cosmetic stuff, but I guess, hey, CBS Paramount, they got to make their money somewhere in here, right? So that is what's in the Armory. And of course the containers are in the Armory as well. If you want to gamble for the commanders and such, go for it. Again, my advice to you always is buy what you want so you don't have to gamble in the first place. That way you are, knowing what you purchase, and you are getting your money's worth that way rather than gambling. So the second main part of the event is, of course, the operation, which you had a chance to try out the operation on the PT server some time ago. As far as I can tell, it is pretty much exactly the same, which is cool. It's good. It's a really fun operation. It's really, really in-depth, which is really cool. A lot of the time, these operations just kind of hand you some ships and say, all right, go for it. But here, it's very much in-depth. You have several ships you can choose from. You can choose from the Vulcan battleship. You can choose from a cruiser or a destroyer. Although from what I've seen so far, most players are just rocking and rolling with the Vulcan battleship. So, yeah. But besides choosing the different classes, you can set up your ships differently. As you play through the operation, you will earn new battle bonuses, which you can apply. You apply those by clicking on the little cars buttons down below, which is pretty neat. I like that all that stuff is interactable, and you can purchase upgrades in the armory with star tokens that you will earn by playing through the event. There's even a separate rewards chain for the event. As you play through it, you'll earn different rewards. Some of them are in-game bonuses for the event. Some of them are containers, economic bonuses, free XP. So it's really cool, and it's actually worth your while. Coal as well, port slots. It's worth your time, putting your time into this event to get some of these rewards. And the best part about all of this is that besides, this being a highly detailed event where you can, customize the modules and all this with these 3 different ships, is that it's actually free. Like, it's straight up free to play. There are no repair costs associated with this mode. So you can go into this mode, get like 500,000 damage, and all of the credits that you get from this mode, it's pure profit. So that means the credits you see me earn, I think I earned like 360,000 credits at the end of this match you're watching in the background, at the end of this run of the operation. That is all pure profit, which really isn't bad. This wasn't even that crazy of a run. This is a completely stock ship in this mode. I don't have any upgrades. I don't have any different modules besides the ones that the ship just comes with out of the box for you to go in and play. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. And again, you can potentially make quite a bit of credits just playing through this mode. And while you're making these credits, again, you're earning all these rewards and such that, of course, can be used in your random battles playtime. So that is pretty neat in my humble opinion. So after you go through the operation, you can, of course, earn little trinkets in the captain's cabin, which is cool if you're a Star Trek nerd like me. You get little trinkets, little mementos from the show that you can collect. I think that's pretty neat as well. So the new weapons that are being tested out here, of course, the most eye-opening one is, well, the missiles. They are photon torpedoes in the operation. They work very much like the submarine ping, where you hit 3, you point your camera at a ship, you click the button, it sends out a radar ping. They're even called, I think, radar-guided photon torpedoes. And when you ping the enemy ship, your ship launches its photon torpedoes, which launch pretty similarly to missiles, and then they go toward the ship and they impact the ship at the portion of the hull that your radar pinged on. So, it's pretty telling that they call them radar-guided photon torpedoes, because I don't think I've ever heard radar get mentioned that often in Star Trek. Certainly not when it comes to like the photon torpedoes and stuff. They always just call, we have a lock on the ship, and they yeet the photon torpedoes at them. So it's pretty interesting that they called it that, because they were testing this idea, this method of missiles back in the day. They shelved it, but apparently now it's made its way back into the game, and they haven't really expanded upon what they're doing with this in the update article or in the dev blog. So there's a good chance that this is just coming out for this operation. It may never see the light of day, but as most of you veteran players do know, Wargaming loves to test out new systems in these operation events and modes. They tested out submarines in that first Halloween submarine operation all those years ago. And look where we are now. They've tested out the minefields. They've tested out the smoke screens for the CVs. And look where we are now with support CVs. And those are just some of the more recent examples I can think of off the top of my head. So, yeah, it might be that it's just a really cool mode. It's really in-depth either way, and I will applaud Wargaming for that. But, yeah, they could potentially be testing these out. We are kind of running out of ships to add into the game at this point, so maybe they're looking at what they can add, beyond. And like I mentioned in the dedicated missile video, if this is like a tier like 11 and 12 thing, and they're going into the missile age, sure, cool. That's fine if they want to, go up into the missile age, but I don't think it would be wise to add in guided missile destroyers and cruisers with early 20th century or mid 20th century artillery ships, right? So we'll keep our eyes on this with great interest. Also, the shield mechanics pretty cool. I thought maybe it was some type of electronic warfare, or maybe it's supposed to be like a CWIS system or something like that, or shaft or something like that, where you got to kind of get through the countermeasures or run the CWIS out of ammo in order to get through to the ship with your missiles. Other players have said, well, maybe they're testing like some type of external armor, because apparently Alesta is doing something similar with like pre-dreadnought battleships, which is pretty cool. Could be that, or again, it could just be a shield for the Star Trek event mode. The other weapons, the phasers, maybe they're testing railguns. It's literally works like a railgun, like a laser. You point at the target, it zips on over there. It's a super flat arc because it's a laser. Can't arc over anything, and it takes a long time to recharge. Could that be a railgun? I don't know. I think that's a little less likely because, well, even in real life, those aren't even working yet. I think that one's just a phaser for the Star Trek event mode. But it's fun to, sit here and, think about what this could mean for the future of the game. I like to think, since they haven't really gotten missiles to work in the past, they won't be bringing them to the game in the future. But again, you never know. They love to test things out with these event modes. They said they couldn't get submarines to work back in the day, but here we are now with submarines in the game. So guys, that is my overview of the Star Trek crossover event. Overall, a pretty good event in my mind. You got some neat cosmetic things you can buy if you're a fan of the show and the movies. If not, no worries, you're not missing out on anything whatsoever. Yes, they are pricey. Yes, it's a little expensive, but hey, CBS Paramount, they got to get their cut of the pie too, so there is that. The Star Trek IP is not a cheap one, that I can tell you. CBS and Paramount are super protective of that because it is, of course, one of their big money makers. So, yeah, there is that. But again, you don't have to get it because, like I said, the voice acting isn't even that good for the new commanders and such. So, if it looks neat, go ahead. Throw your money at it, although I would probably say you're better off buying like a Jean Bar in Alaska from the Black Friday event. Definitely take part in the operation. If anything else, it is just free credits for you. Like, again, it costs nothing to go into battle with the ships, so that is mega cool. Pretty easy credit printing mode right now. So go have some fun with that, test everything out, see how you like it, and, well, make some credits and get some rewards in the process too. So if you guys enjoyed, have a wonderful Friday, wonderful rest of your week and weekend. I will be trying to live stream again tonight if my internet does allow on the channel from around 3:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time to around 6:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, so make sure you come out for that. Hope you guys have a wonderful Friday, wonderful rest of your weekend. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.